First of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Ali Abdaal and this 7 video challenge project that I entered. And kudos to a lot of what he's contributed on the internet, a lot of free things, book reviews, which I found most helpful. And now I'm proud to say that I set for myself a goal of finishing the 7 video challenge today, April 15th, and it looks like I'm going to hit that mark. Just to add, this has been extremely painful. I had signed on in October, and here it is April, and I'm just finishing up. I have found every single excuse I can to avoid doing this. I started off with some technical problems. I still have technical problems that I have to solve. But I have to admit that so far I've benefited immensely. I feel more comfortable now recording videos. And this challenge taught me how to record, edit, and upload to YouTube, which I've been meaning to do for the longest time. I have a decent webcam, microphone. I was going to shoot these videos on my iPhone, but I just couldn't seem to work that out. And right now I'm using a webcam and uploading videos to Canva, and I'm having problems with that. The files, for the longer files, 10 minutes or so, these are 1.5 gigs or more. And it seems that when I'm uploading to Canva, it times out. It's like 90% of the video is uploaded, then it stops, claiming that it timed out. I don't know what's going on. And again, it's something else that I have to figure out, and I'm sure I will. I like Canva. Canva is very easy to understand and use, and I prefer to use Canva for editing videos, but I also have the option of using Adobe Premiere Elements, and someone also suggested in the community I check out DaVinci Resolve. So again, these are a lot of things that I need to work through, and I'm confident that I will eventually. I think after I complete this challenge, I'm going to shift into YouTube Shorts. I think I can be more productive, get more material out, and test to see what my audience is actually interested in learning about. I have a lot of ideas. They have to deal with lifestyle, medical science, healthcare, commentary, philosophy, book reports, etc., etc. And by shooting a bunch of shorts, hopefully we'll find out what it is people really respond to, what I could click with my audience. I was worried, and I'm sure most people who do this challenge are worried, that the videos won't be polished enough to be acceptable, and certainly they're not. And I had to get over that feeling that I was going to do something much better if I just took the time and energy. But overthinking is a problem with a challenge like this where you have to learn a lot of new things. And it's better just to go with what you have, push through it with the confidence that things will get better with the more experience that you build. Again, repetition is probably the solution to the whole anxiety thing, the whole um, 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 preventing or stopping procrastination is what I'm looking for. Is the best thing. Just make it, do it as often as you can, and each time you resolve a new problem. And I'm finding that now that I'm really pushing myself to do these videos, I'm feeling more comfortable, and I'm hoping that this will make these videos more beneficial to my audience. Another thing that's very important, and it's a point that I make frequently about talking about healthcare and behavior modification, is that you really shouldn't seek to work in isolation, even though you do a lot of research on your own. And I use AI a lot, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Anthropic Claude. You can't be satisfied with what seemingly are excellent, well thought of thought out answers. You really need to bounce these ideas off of other people, professionals. And in the realm of healthcare, it should be your doctor, in order to come up with a solution that is well thought out, tested, and makes sense before you start implementing any changes, especially major changes in your life. Having said this, I think that the most beneficial aspect of the requirements of the 7 video challenge is the requirement to post on Ali's community page, get feedback. I think this is a very important process that is not necessarily part of my personality. I tend to work alone on a lot of projects, but the whole idea of seeking feedback, I think is a good idea. To a certain extent, you have to have a thick skin to be open to critiques, criticisms, but that's part of accelerating the learning process with everything you do in life. So I'm really happy that I'm starting to engage more and more with the online community, and I hope one of the main points of my YouTube video is for me to establish a means of communication, conversation rather, with my dedicated audience to find out what their needs are, what they find important, so that I could begin to think about their needs and address them the best I can with the research I do, and then present it not as an expert, not trying to preach to anybody about what they should do, but essentially throwing something out and see what people have to say. I'd be more than happy for people to point out those areas where I'm wrong. And I certainly don't hold back in expressing myself for fear that I might be found to be wrong. So that's another important change that I feel that I need to develop in putting content, video content on YouTube, being willing to accept feedback, understanding other people's viewpoints that may not jive with mine, but are just as important. So finally, again, I'm going to end with a quote. And this is a famous author of mine, Mark Twain. It's about eating frogs. And certainly with this 7 video challenge, I've eaten a lot of frogs. Yeah. Okay. Twain says, if the first thing you do each morning is to eat a live frog, you can go through the day with the satisfaction of knowing that that is probably the worst thing that is going to happen to you all day long, which is probably not the truth, but it's the whole idea of embracing the most difficult tasks, the most onerous tasks, first thing. Now, I have a schedule set up for myself. I call them Big Rocks Day. And I've chosen Mondays and Fridays as my Big Rocks days. These are where first thing when I wake up in the morning, I hit these challenges with all I have, all my mental capacity. And I chose those days, Mondays and Fridays, because these are the worst days to network. So come Monday morning, I'm thinking about all the difficult things that I really don't want to do, but I should do, reviewing my finances, my bank accounts, laundry, cleaning up, organizing. And so again, here's an example of using a routine where I could compartmentalize my tasks to help prevent procrastination. I think other people could benefit from this routine and other routines that I suggest and will suggest in the future. In fact, my last video, it's a lot about routines, beneficial routines, and maintaining focus and having the discipline not to fall into the trap of doom scrolling and excessively checking the news or checking email. So I hope people benefit from everything I'm putting forth. And again, I want to hear what people have to say about what they do or what they think about what I'm saying. So Having said that, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, you find it beneficial, including all the videos I've posted so far. And like I say, I'm now going to transition into more video shorts, uh, testing what people are interested in, producing more videos, maybe even on a daily basis. So I hope you continue with this channel, maybe subscribe, and I hope the best in your life if you choose not to, because our orientation towards life always takes different paths, and I'm hopefully contributing something to yours, or you could teach me about learning a new way of approaching life. So take care.